Okay, let's cover Agent Studio. By the way, you can get a 30-day free trial for GoHighLevel in our link in the description. So essentially, Agent Studio is an alternative to NA10. If you don't know what NA10 is, it's essentially a platform where you can build AI agents, when you can connect nodes and those nodes create a whole AI agent, okay? So in this case, when we go to Agent Studio in GoHighLevel, we obviously need to be in our sub account. So a sub account is essentially just a client account, which, in this case we're using. Client is not using it. So let's go here and create an agent. And by the way, the agent is just a name for the workflow, what will be done in this AI agent. Okay, so we're going to be building a real estate AI agent. And here we can just say an AI agent for real estate inquiries. Okay, let's create the agent here. And as you can see, we will be brought to this screen right here. Yeah, we have a couple of things we can kind of cover here. So obviously we have the nodes, we have flow control, we have search, MCP, API, generative AI, and capture information. And all of these nodes can be used within GoHighLevel right here. So the start node is always the same. By the way, if you click on the node, you can rename the node. You can add different, you can delete it. You cannot really add different things to this node, but you can add a lot of different things to other nodes, okay? Now, one thing I have to mention is this start node will usually be, GoHighLevel is actually working on a better way to incorporate this into AI agents. So usually you will have here a form, let's say, or something else like let's say Facebook lead ads. Okay, so whenever you connect the Facebook lead ads with this, you would be able to get that lead to go through an AI agent. Okay, so right now we only have start node, and if we want to create just a basic AI agent, and by the way, I will be also covering the advanced AI agent, we need to actually go here and actually add the AI agent. And as you can see here, we have a prompt for the AI agent. So we can just say, you are a real estate expert that answers about any real estate questions inside the US market, United States of America market, specifically in Wyoming. Okay, so I'll just do it like this. Keep in mind, you can also add variables here. So, but right now this is not available. So we can add variables here as well, and we can change the model here too. So the model is usually only OpenAI and ChatGPT. So you can use GPT-5, for example. A variable right here can be real estate property. Now, I'm just giving this as an example. It can be string, number, Boolean. So for example, you can also add like real estate property, price can be number, and this can be price of the property, and you can make sure it's required this or not. In this case, we don't actually need it required. And then real estate property type, mansion, 1-bedroom apartment, etc. Okay, and we can hit save. Now what we can do is we can connect these two, and right now we have an AI agent that is actually specifically made for real estate. So we can hit save here, and we can even test our AI agent. So let's exit out of this, test your AI agent. And as you can see right now, we'll have to wait just a little bit. As you can see, we got, hey there, how can I help you with Wyoming real estate today? Are you looking to buy, sell, rent, or get market insights? If you can share the city, area, property type, budget, and timeline, I'll tailor recommendations for you. Now what I can go in here is I can say, I want, so it says, are you looking to buy, sell? I am looking to buy real estate in the Wyoming area. And then I can say something like, I want a bedroom apartment in the center. I have $200,000, and I would like to buy it within 3 days. Okay, so and now this obviously AI agent will go through the internet because it's connected to ChatGPT, and it will give me the best possible answers. Okay, and this is, by the way, the basic overview of how the AI agents work in the GoHighLevel outbound, or not outbound, but in the GoHighLevel agent creation here, which in this case we're just building this specifically like for this tutorial. As you can see, it does take some time, so it's not perfect. That's one thing I wanted to kind of mention here. It's definitely not perfect, especially when you give it a query like this. So it still cannot really compare to other tools, but as you can see, here is essentially what we get. Great, buying a bedroom apartment in Wyoming City Center is possible in select markets. If it's a cash purchase, we move fast. So as you can see, we got pretty much everything. So this is just an example that I wanted to give you. Let's go to the next one. So let's delete this one. Let's exit out of this. What you can also do is you can also add sequences. So for example, in a sequential node, what you can do is you can add a processing node, which can be, for example, capture email address from the user. So if we go actually back here, I want to still have my AI agent here. But I want to go here and add a sequential node. And by the way, this can be, I think, connected to this one. Yes, and then you can add a column. And then you can add, like here, as you can see, these variables are coming from the AI agent. So in this case, we're adding a process node here, email. And this is going to be an email capture tool. We don't have to actually go through all of these. We can, just go here and this will be configured on its own. We can provide the email address, variable name. So let's just hit save this. Okay, I'll just delete this one because I don't need this one. And then I think we can actually go and connect it here. Yeah, and then you can go here, and as you can see, here is the email, and then the email equals, and then you can say something like @gmail.com. And then what the AI agent will do, it will actually communicate with this node, and it will give you it will capture the email. Okay, so that's what you can do as well with sequential node. You can also add like audio generation, image generation, text generation, video generation, capturing phone numbers, like text inputs and stuff like that. Okay, so I'll right now just delete this. Let's go and start from scratch here. One more thing that you can do is you can obviously build AI agents that search the knowledge base. In this case, if we go, let me actually go here to GoHighLevel back. Let me log in. So I just wanted to show you searching for knowledge base. You can find information from knowledge base. You obviously need to have a knowledge base right here. And you can, find knowledge base by going in your sub account. And in your sub account, you can go to let me actually go here, AI agents, and then you have knowledge base. And you can create a knowledge base, and I already created a knowledge base, and I can edit the knowledge base you can do a lot of different things. You can have web crawler, you can add source for web, like web crawler, and then crawl the specific URL you want and extract data from the URL. You can build your knowledge base like that, or you can build it through frequently asked questions. You can add sources for frequently asked questions as well, add questions, answers, and you can also add tables. So tables are coming soon. As you can see, you cannot still update them. Hopefully, by the time this video is out, you will have tables as well. And then once you are in here, you can, just do the instruction. Let's say we build a real estate knowledge base. Find information about a property type in the knowledge base. Okay, and then if we are in the knowledge base, and let's say we have a table or web crawler, the knowledge base agent will actually go into the knowledge base and find that specific answer, as you can see right here. So that's another use case that you can have. Now, end node, usually this is still not really in function. You can have an end node and, in between like the AI agent, but that's about it. It's not really useful as much. Search the web works exactly the same as search the knowledge base. Just in this case, you're searching the web. Now, MCP server is something really useful. If we are talking about MCP server, I don't know if you that are watching this video know what an MCP server is. Essentially, MCP server gives you ability to connect to other tools, and then your AI agent can connect to that MCP server. So essentially, let me actually give you an example here. Here we have a lot of tools that are connected within GoHighLevel, okay? So for example, what we can do is we can add tags to certain contacts. We can get all tasks for certain contacts. We can get calendar events that are happening right now on our calendar. So let's say we have these three tools, and here we can just say connect to the MCP server to check for upcoming events on the calendar. Okay, and I will go here and I'll deselect these two, and I'll just select calendar, get calendar events. Now, one thing how this works is you have a URL. You don't have to change this. Server label, it's really nothing that important, so you can choose MCP get calendar events. Authorization and location ID, you can put this right here, like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just for the authorization. This is only you will see this, and then you can hit save. Okay. Now you have an AI agent that if we save this, and if we go here and test this, we can test our AI agent. And obviously it encountered an error processing our request because we actually didn't add a prompt here. So you are an AI agent that uses MCP server to fetch the calendar events, okay? And then obviously we can go here and use like AI model like GPT-5. We can also try adding a variable name here, but I'll just skip this for now and hit save. And I'll just go here and hit test. So let's try to test this. Okay, it encountered error processing our request. So sometimes that happens. Again, what we can do is we can also change up the MCP server here. We can get more tools here, or we can simply go here and say, get the calendar events for this week. Yeah, so it currently not working. Let's actually check later. Okay, so one thing I have to do is actually save it, and you go back to your MCP server and just make sure these two are checked and saved, because otherwise it won't work. As you can see, want me to check your upcoming calendar events? Yes. And right here, you would be able to get the calendar events if you even have some events on the calendar. Like right now, it's actually fetching my events from my calendar because it has the ability to do so. So as you can see, tell me the time range. Obviously, you can also tell the time range, and you can publish it if you're done. Like you can do that. Okay, once that is done, let me actually go to the next one. So since this is a tutorial for beginners, API calls is also something you can do. And by the way, this is like the last node that we can kind of go through. So if you're familiar with NA10, and if you're familiar with HTTP requests, then you will be familiar with this. API call is essentially a call that you can, like your agent will make a call to an API. API is essentially like a tool, and you can use different tools. And I will give you an example right now. Now, one example I can give you here is the example with Weather API. So if you don't know, or if you know, a Weather API is an API. We have an API key right here, and it's completely free, and it's actually a way to fetch the weather that's outside right now, or that's going to be within the couple of days. So what we can do is we can go here, and by the way, you will see the API key here. And you can also see, if we scroll here, let me actually see the API documentation. And as you can see here, we have authentication, and we can see that the base URL is API weather, and then we have the API key. So this is the base URL, okay? And I will actually show you how this works. Let me actually populate this, and I will then explain how it works. Now, as you can see, what I did is I added the instructions. I also added the API endpoint, and I will show you exactly how this works. I actually went to ChatGPT to make this easier for you. So as you can see, I attached an API documentation. So each API has its own documentation. So obviously we have the API key here, but we need a documentation as well. And from the documentation, I extracted this. So I just screenshotted this part, and I said, okay, fill me in, like populate me the endpoint and the instructions. And what it gave me here is it gave me this right here. So fetch real-time weather data from weather API, and then here example API request. So this is the example API request. And as you can see, I need my API key to fulfill this request. So I essentially added that request in here, and then instead of the API key, I added my API key, okay? So that's what I did. I added it right here. I added the instructions here. I saved it, and now I actually tested it out. I saved it, and here, as you can see, here you go. You get the weather. So this is, by the way, only the API call for the weather. Keep in mind, you will still have to go to the agent here and also prompt the agent to make this even better. Okay, so this agent fetches the data from the weather API or something like that, and then you hit save. In this case, it doesn't work, but as you can see here, it works like a charm. So that's essentially how you can use Agent Studio in GoHighLevel. Now, obviously, there are some caveats here and there, like capturing information, you know, AI agents and stuff like that. Global prompt, this is like the global prompt to all LLM nodes. Like you can configure the global prompt that will be applied to all LLM nodes. However, in this case, it's not really needed. You can have global prompt in this way. It's only one prompt for all the nodes in your for your agents. And then variables, you can configure variables here, and you can add like API key, and then you can enter value. You can build input variables, like, you know, it can be like, for example, name, and then the name of the user, right? Or it can be runtime variables. Here, runtime is usually variables that are populated at runtime and variables that work when you're running the agent. These are the output variables, which are like second name is output variables, which is probably a better name for that. But yeah, here you have input, and then global configuration is just global configuration. Don't really mess around with these too much. Input variables can be very useful, because then you would be able to use them in here in the agents. But that's essentially it. I broke down all of the nodes. Obviously, in the next video, because this is going to be part of a series, and I will build this series in one big video. It will be like a free course, how to master all GoHighLevel AI features in 1 hour. So this will be part 1 of that specific course, okay? So yeah, make sure to check out GoHighLevel 30-day free trial. And also in the description, you can kind of try it out for yourself. And then also make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this was useful. This was valuable to you, and we'll see you in the next one.